Today we're going to be making one of my favorite styles of roasted chicken. It's easy to prep, easy to cook, and gives you perfectly juicy and flavorful chicken with golden crunchy skin every time. If you're looking to impress that special someone or just have a date night in with your cat, this spatchcock chicken won't disappoint. Let's eat. You want to start with a high quality chicken. Get an air-chilled one from your local butcher if you can. These will be fresher and won't have been pumped with water, so they'll be more tender and cook faster and more evenly. They also taste a hell of a lot better, but use whatever you can find. Next, go grab the kitchen shears you've been using to open packages and junk mail for a few years, and make sure you wash them so there's no glue or packing tape stuck to them. Lay the chicken down with the backbone facing up, and you're going to cut along either side of the spine, through the ribs, from the back all the way to the front. Do the same on the other side to fully remove the backbone. Don't throw this away though, because you can use it to make some delicious stock later. Open up your bird and liberally salt the inside and out with some kosher salt and fresh ground pepper. Toss that on a wire-racked baking sheet and leave it uncovered in the fridge overnight. This is going to let the salt season all the way through the meat and dry out the skin so it's easier to crispen up later. A quick thumbs up, pat your meat, and throw it in the fridge. We've let our chicken sit overnight and you can already see that the skin has changed color and tightened up. We've let this sit out for about 30 minutes to come up to room temp, so we're ready to start cooking. I like to preheat a cast iron skillet, but any oven-safe pan will do. Heat that baby up on medium-high and add about 2 tablespoons of oil, or enough to just cover the bottom of the pan. Once your oil is shimmering, it's hot, and you want to lay your chicken skin side down away from you and let it brown in the oil for about 5 to 8 minutes. Make sure you forget to pat it dry before doing this so that hot oil splatters everywhere. Once the breasts are nicely golden brown, flip your chicken over and place the entire pan into a preheated oven at 425 degrees for about 40 minutes, or until the thickest part of the meat reaches 165 degrees. While we're waiting for our chicken to cook, let's make some sides. Have some fingerling potatoes, or if those are out of stock on the day you're shooting a video, just grab a variety of small yellow, red, and purple potatoes. Cut those up and toss them in a bowl. Next, take a sprig of fresh rosemary and, grabbing it at the top, pinch and run your hand down the sprig away from the direction the leaves grow. Finally chop it up and toss that into the potatoes. Season with some fresh thyme, a tablespoon of olive oil, fresh pepper, and kosher salt. Mix those up well with your spoon of choice and lay them face side up on a baking sheet. Throw those into an oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes, or until the tops are a beautiful crispy brown. Next up, green beans. Wash and trim the edges of your green beans and toss them into a bowl. Remove the papery skin of a few cloves of fresh garlic by smashing them with the blunt side of your knife and pulling off the skin. Dice them up and throw them into the bowl. Season with some salt and fresh ground pepper. Mix them up and place into a pan with some butter and olive oil over medium-low heat. Toss them a few times to get everyone coated in butter, and toss the lid on them so they steam without getting too crispy. Give them the occasional stir, and after about 10 to 15 minutes, set them aside with the lid on to finish them off. Let's pull our chicken out, and oh my god, it gets me every time. That looks so good. Set it aside to rest for about 10 minutes, but keep all that delicious fat and crispy bits stuck to the pan. Sauté a finely chopped shallot until it's cooked through and soft. Once that's cooked, we're going to grab a bottle of our finest, most expensive beer and pour about 1/4 to 1/2 of a cup in. You can use wine for this too, but I wanted to have a beer with my dinner, so I used what I had. Turn the heat up to high and scrape all of the crispy bits from the pan and let the alcohol boil off for a few minutes. Pour in a cup of chicken stock and season to taste with some fresh ground pepper and salt if it needs it. Toss in some chopped parsley to brighten the mix and reduce until you have a thin layer of flavor coating the pan. Kill the heat and add a couple tablespoons of butter. Whisk it in to emulsify it and add some more butter for good measure. You should have a delicious, thick sauce that coats the back of the spoon. Carefully arrange your potatoes and green beans, making sure they're just touching, and gently rest your favorite piece of chicken on top, realizing that you didn't think too much about how this would plate before cooking. Drizzle with your flavor-laden pan sauce and slowly rotate the plate so that your guests can fully appreciate your steamy, buttery craftsmanship. Take a sip of your finest beverage and enjoy.